This is paper. This one's called 6 Feet Tall. So yeah, who could be 6 feet tall? I actually don't know. I'm not gonna talk as much. I'm just gonna move on to it. There's probably gonna be some editing to this. Yeah, you know the drill. I don't sound like Sal, Larry, and sorry. I'm gonna try giving my best impressions of what they would sound like. I'm gonna try giving Sal a calmer tone to his voice because, you know, he's a down earth person. Larry, I'm gonna try giving him the, you know, what's up, dude, whatever. Actually, Todd, let me try. We finally arrived in Knoxville. Well, I went home noon. My mom didn't wake me up when the plane had landed. Somehow I was so tired that I slept for 5 whole hours. But it's way better than being wakened and bored for 5 hours, so I'm not complaining at all. But my father sure is. We stood outside the plane with our suitcases, with me and a backpack as well. And my dad is going off about how our cab is a little late. I don't know what time it is here, but I know that it has to be like around 11:30 or something by now. And the cab was supposed to be here 11. My mom is just trying to calm him down, but he just lashes out at her every now and then, telling her not to tell him to calm down. Like, dude, be quiet. Your wife is just trying to help you out so you don't get a heart attack. But I bet at this moment she wouldn't actually mind the chance of that happening, considering that very ignorant look on her face, irritated look on her face, as she glares at my father with an utmost hate. I broke my eyes, but as I looked in the direction my eyes landed, I see a cab coming our way, through I don't know what, if it's ours or not, because there are many other people waiting for what I assume to be their own cabs as well. I assumed there to be our own cabs as well, but as the car stopped right in front of us, we already knew it was ours.
Fucking finally.
My dad yells with a prefer annoyed face. Tom! My mom yells to my father. I mean, he did just cuss in front of like 30 strangers. That's not a very good look on our family, if you ask me. We all eventually get in the car. My father sits in front of my mother sits in the back. My mother knows that I don't really get along with my dad. Heck, my mom doesn't even get along with him 24/7 at a time, so she knows I won't want to be stuck sitting with him for a long period of time, or at all for that matters. Oh boy, I do appreciate it. We sit in the car and I have my backpack on the ground in between my legs as I wait to arrive to my new home. Yay. I know I should be happy. It's a fresh start in our new town with no friends and no family aside from my parents. I'm pretty much now all alone, so I kind of do have a reason not to be happy. I keep thinking about my new life in Knoxville but my thoughts were cut off when my mom touches my shoulder and I look at her and she begins a conversation. Are you okay? She asks worriedly. I look at her for a moment, considering if I should tell her how I feel. Yeah, I'm fine, I said, giving her a convincing smile. Are you sure? You look upset. No, I'm fine. Well, I guess it's just the whole moving thing and I really don't like it. I know, sweetheart, but think about it. All positive. How? Like all the new friends you make, and maybe a few boys. My mom smiles and nudges my shoulder as she says the last part. Mom! I laughed and looked away from her. She laughs with me too.
What's going on back there?
My mother looks at me and leans into my ear. Can I tell him what's bothering you? Sure, Mom. Mom leaves when I call her Mom. Mom loves when I call her Mom, but it makes her feel like I trust her more, like she's a part of my life. I would call her it more often, but my dad doesn't really like it, and I have mother engraved in my mind. She leans away from my ear, sitting back up properly in her seat. She's a little iffy about the whole moving. Sit back in her seat. She's a little iffy about the whole moving thing.
Iffy?
Repeats my mom's words. My mom glances at me, then looks back at my father. Yeah, she doesn't really like it at all. Before my mom had a chance to even explain, she was cut off by my father. He flings his arm over the driver's seat head and turns his body to look at me. Oh no. You're going to like it. You're going to like it, whether you want it or not, he screams. I don't have the tone of my voice to scream. I looked at him with scared eyes. My mom notices and comes closer to me. Geez, what's up his butt? My mom grabs my hand tightly for comfort, and my dad scuffles as he sees it happen. Do I make myself clear? I sit and just stare at him. I'm scared. I always am when he yells at me, but this time it's so close to me that it integrates me even more. I said, do I make myself clear? He screams. I flinch and a tear begins to make its way down my cheek. As I quickly nod my head towards my father, he stares at me for a little, then sits back normally. My mom hugs my side super tight, and I begin to cry quietly, squeezing my eyes shut. I'm so sorry, baby. My mom whispers to me while kissing the top of my head. Her voice cracks, and I assume she's upset as well. She said that her baby is so upset by her own father doing. I sit there crying into my mom's arm, and eventually I tried to calm down. We've been in the cab for about 20 minutes, and now I wipe my tears with my head, and my mother kisses my forehead. She smiles at me. A sad smile I give back.
We're here,
the driver states. I look out the window to see a big building that says Addison Apartments, it read. The place looks run down and dirty. This is not the type of home I thought my porch parents would invest in. My mom quickly gets out the car, making sure I follow behind her. The driver gets out and heads to the back to grab our suitcases that he had placed in there earlier. He pulls them out and sets them on the road. I walked over and grabbed mine. My mom walks to me as I'm grabbing my suitcase and gives me a key. This is to unlock room 04, okay? Okay, thank you. I smile and begin to walk away with my stuff, repeating the numbers 401 in my mind over and over so I won't forget it. I slant through the entrance doors and walk to a lobby of some sorts. There's no reputation or the place is kind of dirty but clean. I walked to my right to see a woman cleaning. That would explain all the cleanliness. I ignored it and walked towards the elevator. I pressed the button that had the arrow that pointing up. Just as so, an electric blue-haired boy walks through, bumping into me harshly. Ow. Watch where you're going, the boy muttered. Hey, you walked into me, blueberry head. I resort rolling my eyes. What the fuck did you just say? I finally looked at him, and wow, he's tall. So tall that he towers over me. Greatly, he has to be like 6 feet tall, and he's wearing a mask of some sort. His electrical blue hair is long, and it really completes the whole mask thing going on as it drips over his shoulders. And his messy bangs drips over his mask. He's well built, but kind of shaggy and lanky. But all in well built, he looks around my age, but has the height of an adult. He stares at me, waiting for an answer as he bent down to my height and stares through the dark holes of his eyes and his mask. I can see his very blue, bright eyes, but almost one looks false. Sal! The general lady calls over to him. How have you been? Oh, you must be the new residents. I looked at her for a minute before answering. Yeah, I am. I'm Lisa. Who are you? I'm YNN. Nice to meet you. She smiles back at me. She looks like a really nice woman. It's nice to meet you too. It's nice to meet you too. The blue-haired boy, who I now know his name is Sal, stands there glancing at me. Lisa turns away from me and pulls out a key card from her pocket. Here you go, Sal. Don't lose this one. She smiles slightly, and I decided it's time to take my leave. I get into the elevator with all my stuff and push floor 4. But just to my luck, as the elevator doors were an inch away from closing, someone's hand slipped through and reopened the doors once more. Sal. I looked behind him to see Lisa has now walked away. Oh no. He walks in and the doors close. I'm leaning on the wall, glancing at the floor buttons, not waiting to make any sort of communication with the blue-haired boy in front of me, but I feel his glare burning into the side of my head. I was so quiet that the silence was loud, but a certain deep voice interrupted and said, silence, and that's when my heart started to beat quicker. Did you really think you're gonna get out of that easy? I didn't respond and kept looking away from him. What was I supposed to say? The silence took over, but not before I heard footsteps and a presence directly in front of me. Sal grabs my face and forced me to look at him. I asked you a question. I looked at him with worried eyes. Thank God. Sal glances at the floor, then at me. You're not getting out of that little stunt you pulled. What does that mean? I whispered, then gave an awkward smile. He lets go of my face, but pushes it to the side as he does. I quickly grab the handle of my suitcase and leave the elevator as fast as I can. The elevator doors close and I continue to speed walk towards my room, number 304, 402, 401. I read the numbers as I walk along the hallway. I unlock my room door and quickly walk inside. I glance around inside and it's actually quite nice. A little dirty, but nothing I can clean to my liking. To my left is a kitchen, in front of me is the living room, and to my right is a hallway. I walked down the small hallway, and it held 4 bedrooms, one being a bathroom, and the others were just regular bedrooms. I looked at all the floors and decided which one I liked the best. I chose the medium-sized one. I would have chosen the biggest, but I know my parents would need it more than me, considering they share a room. I guess the smallest room would be used for an office or storage room, maybe. I place my stuff down on the floor and see there is already hangers in the closet. So I guess I would have begun to get my room and set up everything, even if it's just putting away clothes. Okay, so this one is called Cherry. Now make sure to talk a little loud. Later on, my parents finally came to the apartment. I was confused on where they had been for so long, but then I saw them walking in with big stuff and cardboard boxes full of our stuff. Guess the movers showed up already. I walked over to them and helped with putting the boxes where they needed to be, based on what the label said. I continued to put the boxes in their correct spot, and once I was done, my mom walked up to me. You stay here and start setting up your room. Your father and I will go get the rest of the boxes, she directed with a kind smile. Of course. I walked over to my room and opened the boxes I placed in here earlier. I opened the first one that held more of my clothes and shoes. I figured I should start off easy. Once I finished putting my clothes away, I opened the next box, which holds my jewelry and some other decorations. I continued to put up all my stuff where I wanted them to go, and my father lifts in with some of the mover guys. My dresser, then my vanity and side tables, and lastly my bed frame and mattress. Thank you! I smile with the movers, but they give me a gentle smile in return, and I go back to what I was doing. Sure, I wasn't happy about moving, but I love decorating an empty space. It puts me in a good mood doing something I love. I moved around where I want my bed and all my other furniture to stay. I sat down my jewelry box and my vanity along with makeup and other little things. I put my dresses and shoes in my closet with then my shirts and pants, undergarments, and whatever else inside the drawer. I walked out to my room to ask my mom where some bed sheets would be, but it's getting late, so I figured I should probably set up my bed before I would get too tired. Hey Mom, where are the bed sheets? Oh, they're in the living room closet in our room. You can go ahead and grab them. My mom smiles at me. She places a vase full of flowers in the middle of our living room coffee table. I turned around and just skied back down the hall and walked back down the hallway. Once more, walking all the way to the second last room, and studying into it. My room is the very last room. I looked around for the living room closet and finally opened it. I walked over to it and swung the door open. I grabbed my plain pink bed sheets and walked back to my bedroom. No problem, sweetheart, she shouts back. I began to make my bed. The movers already did the hard part of putting the mattress on my bed. So all I had to do was tuck the sheets on my bed and place my pillows and comfort on top. I also do a couple stuffed animals to place on the bed as well. Once I was finally done, I sat up on my bed and glanced around my room, looking at everything to make sure it was all in the right places. I glanced to my left, and I have a big window that is installed. There's a pair of white curtains to match the creamy colored walls. Speaking of walls, I have a couple of posters and bands and shows I love, so I posted them up. Like Lavara, the Beatles, the Queens, all that good music. Sanity Falls has been a known one that Damien likes, but I'm not really into that hard rock screamo music. Rock, yes. Hard rock, no. Sal, hard rock, yes. Larry, hard rock, yes. I lay down in my bed with my room light on. I'm not going to bed, but I just need a little break before we have dinner. I need to relax and take it all in. I was enjoying the silence, keyword was, but not before a loud strumming of a guitar interrupted. Stupid neighbors. I groaned loudly and walked out of my room. The further I got to the living room, the less you could hear the guitar. If anybody was paying attention in the game, Sal is playing electrical guitar, or guitar, I don't know what it is. I think about going over there and tell them to be quiet, but I decided not to be a nagging Nancy on my first day. But if it goes on while I'm trying to sleep, then we're gonna have problems. I glanced around the living room and see that everything is set up the way it was in my old home. For the most part, why did we even move? What was the point? Hey, Mom, why did we move? I finally decided to ask the question that's been nagging at my brain for the past 10 hours. Mom pokes her head around the kitchen doors and looks at me. Come in so we don't have to yell back and forth. I walked into the kitchen to see my mom cooking dinner, but I didn't see Dad. Where's Dad? Oh, he's talking with the movers. Okay. Anyway, why did we move? I repeat. Well, mainly we moved here because your dad's new job offered that he accepted, but we also thought maybe it would do us some good to have, a little change. Oh, but all my friends were back in Toronto, and I like it there, and I was happy. Sweetheart, I know this is hard for you, but you'll be happy here too. But my friend, you make new ones, whining. I like my old ones. My stubborn self was not giving the upper hand. Whining, don't argue, okay? I know you miss your friends, but you can always call them. My mom turns to me, grabbing my shoulder gently. She points to our telephone hanging on the wall behind me. I sigh, and my mom's eyes sparkle as she thinks of an idea. Why don't you call Damien? You can tell him all about your new home. Okay. I walked away, grabbed the phone, punching in my friend Damien's number. It rings once, then twice, then a voice. Hello? Oh, shit, it's a woman's voice. Hello? It's a woman's voice. I automatically know it's Damien's mom. Hello, Miss E. It's Wayne. The E is short for Eastern. Oh, Wayne, how have you been, sweet pea? Pretty good. I miss my hometown, but it's kind of nice here. That's great. I'm guessing you want to speak to Damien? Yes, please. Okay, one sec. Damien has always been my best friend since diapers. We are inseparable, and I've become very good friends with his parents, so this whole moving thing has been pretty hard on him and me. He's super sweet and has black curly hair and dresses neither formally or street style. His go-to color is black, and he's into hard rock music. He looks and is pretty intimidating, but if you don't know him or he doesn't know you, but once you get to know him, he's actually a pretty softie. Pretty much a softie. Whining. Calls through the phone. I get excited, and I can tell he's smiling. Hi, Damien. Hi, Whinen. It's so good to hear your voice. How's the new home? Quite nice, actually, but I miss you tons. I miss you too, Whinen. Have you met anyone there yet? Well, I met this one janitor lady. She's super sweet. Her name is Lisa. And if I remember correctly, there's this guy I sort of met. Do you like him? No, what? No, he's a complete utter jerk. You know what he did? What did he do? He bumped into me and told me to watch where I was going. Can you believe that? So obviously, so I called him out and called him a blueberry head. Blueberry head? What do you mean? Yeah, he has blue hair. Ah, I see. Anyway, so then, I see. Anyway, so then, let's just say he didn't really take it too well, and me calling him blueberry head. Did he do something? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Who would have thought an elevator would save my life? Damien let out a sigh of relief. Damien's always been overprotective of me ever since we were old enough to talk. Good? And, how's you and your dad? Damien has also known about my relationship with my dad, considering I tell him everything. Not too good. Still, he lashes out at me for no reason during the drive here. Tisk, I'm sorry, whine in. Well, at least you have your mom and me. Damien chuckles. Yeah. Damien, it's time for dinner. I hear his mom call out to him. Okay, he calls back. I gotta go, whine in, but promise to call me back at some point. I promise. Bye, Damien. Bye, whine in. Then the line ends. I hang the phone back up as my mom sets dinner up. Almost perfectly timed, my dad walks through the front door. Dinner, honey, my mom calls out to my dad. We all walk to the dinner table and sit down, where I begin to eat my sadness away. Chapter 4. Elevator Lovers. Well, elevator lover. Not lovers. Elevator lover. I'm disturbed from a peaceful sleep as my mom calls me from down the steps. Whine in, it's time for school. Get down here. I groaned and yelled back, I'm up. Her yelling stops and I get up from my bed, picking out clothes to get ready for the day. It's been about a month since I began living here in Knoxville, but it's pretty nice here. Sure, Addison apartments are a little dirty and look unstable, but there's actually some nice people here. Such as Lisa, who already met my first day here, but I found out a little while after that she actually isn't working here, or sort of. She fixes things and cleans around the building in return. The building's owner pays her back in letting her stay in the basement of the apartments. She also mentioned that she has a son named Larry, I believe. She told me that he was super sweet and had amazing grades when he was younger, but now he's lost on his way. And that blue-haired boy that I also met is his best friend. He lost his way and tried calling life as well. I call Sal Blueberry Head. Well, not to his face. Well, not anymore, ever since I met him. I've been hiding in my apartment from him, and anytime I absolutely had to go out, I would run so fast to the elevator to where I needed to be. It took a while for my parents to get me into school, but now they finally got me a spot at Knoxville High. Today's my first day, and I'm super nervous. It's a Monday, and my dad's always It's a Monday, and my dad always leaves for work at 5 p.m. and gets home at 6 p.m. So luckily for me, I get to wear whatever I want without him yelling at me. My mom supports it as long as it's not super inappropriate. The furthest I've gone with my outfits is being able to wear shorts and skirts and crop tops. I walked out of my bedroom after I finally gotten dressed and done my makeup. I walked over to my mom, then she checks my outfit over. She nods in approval, then turns around to go sit at the table. I'm wearing a baby pink fuzzy dress that has white fluff on the ends of the sleeves. It reaches just about to the middle of my thighs and has a pearl belt to attach it. My cute waist, and I prepared it with some cute gloss champagne color flat platforms shoes that have cute plasto pink slick bows under the shoes. I have white socks that have some ruffles near the ankle. I had my hair down with the pink baby headband to top it all off. Okay, crybaby. And of course some jewelry to tie it all together. I sit at the dinner table and begin to eat. My mom made me eggs and toast and bacon for breakfast. Gosh, I love my mom. Once I'm done, I placed my dish in the sink and slung my backpack over my shoulders. I ran out the door, not before I see Blueberry Head walk out his apartment door too. He's my neighbor? I squeak and quickly head in my apartment, slamming the door shut. My mom leaning on the door, I breathed out and breathed in. Deep breaths. My mom walks into the room and gives me a questioning look. I just saw a spider. Yeah, it was super big, and, I'm just gonna leave. I give her a nervous laugh, and she looks at me again with that same look, but leaves me alone and goes back to cleaning. Pew. I check the hallways. The coast is clear. I quickly walk to the elevator, press the down button, and wait for it to go down. But just to my luck, I hear that same stupid deep voice that belonged to none other than Blueberry Head. Did you think I forgot about your little stunt just because you were hiding in your apartment? My breath hinges, and I refuse to turn around. I should just run. Should I? No, worth a shot. I wait a couple of seconds, then begin to bolt down the hallway. I hear the elevator ding open, then a hand grabbing the handle of my backpack and yanking me back into the elevator. The elevator door closes. Blueberry Head is pressing me up against the elevator wall, my back against his chest. I groan as my body hits the wall. "Let go of me!" I scream, but only for Sal to squish my cheeks so tight I couldn't speak. The ring on his finger begins to slowly dig into my skin. I whispered as he flips me around and presses my back against the wall. He stares intensely at me through the holes of his mask. I get really scared and breathe heavy as he just looks at me. "I told you this wasn't over, didn't I?" Blueberry Head repeats from a few weeks ago. I nodded quickly, scared of what he might do to me if I didn't go with what he said. "Good girl. Behaving so well. I like that." Am I into this? No, well, no! He takes his hand off my jaw, and I can feel my lipstick smudge along off my lips. The elevator door dings open once more, and I glance behind him at the lobby floor. He continues to look at me, then turns around and was about to leave, but he looks back at me and states boldly, "You look good with your lipstick smudged like that." My face flashes red, and he walks away. Sal's proof. "Dude, where were you? I've been waiting here like forever." I looked at him, then glanced back at the lobby doors. I just exit, thinking about the little elevator scene, then back at Larry. "Yeah, just, man, had to deal with some shit." Whatever you say, man." He looks at me, then we walk to school together.
Yeah, that's the end of that chapter. Whee!
So, this one is called The Assholes of the School. Wayne improve. What the heck was that? Was that a dream? Am I hallucinating? Did that actually just happen? I want to believe that was all a dream, but the odds are stinked against me. My lipstick is smudged and my face is red as a tomato. Maybe even redder. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Okay, deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. I let out a sigh as I try to gather my thoughts. I can't believe all that just happened. I'm so happy Blueberry had left before he could see my face because, as of right now, he's got me wrapped around his finger. Ugh! I never in my life would have thought that Sal Fisher would ever do something like that to me, especially since he doesn't even know my name. Yo, Sal the Rizzolante! Sal Fisher. Okay, enough with that. I thought he was a jerk or bully, and I was right. It doesn't matter if he just did and said what he just did, but he's a jerk, but still, I can't help but feel flustered at the thought of him, and I barely know the guy. I can't believe how long I've been standing here up the elevator thinking of him. Gross! I shake my head and fix my makeup as I begin to push myself off the wall I was leaning on. I started walking towards the main doors of the building to my new school. I'm definitely going to be late on my first day, too. I continue walking until I reach an old building, and it looks like Addison Apartments does on the outside, old and ran down and dirty. I looked at the building a little longer, then I hear the bell ring on my finger. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. I started running towards the front door before it locks, making it just in time. Pew! I leaned my arm on the wall next to me and began to think. Now, where would the front office be? 10 minutes later. Crud, I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm just gonna walk in every direction I can. I continue walking for what seems like forever until I finally came to a conclusion. I'm completely, utterly lost. The bell has already rung, so that means there's no one out here to ask for help, and they're all in their correct classrooms as I should be as well. If I could find the stupid office. I reached the end of the hallway and turned directly into another one. I glanced to see if maybe someone could help me out. Yeah, your girl is nervous, so nervous, which she also can't even take it too well. Let's just say she does not feel like fainting right now. 5 minutes later. Okay, now I've lost all hope. What am I gonna do? And why is this school so big? I looked at my shoes while I'm walking around. I need to think of something. I'm trying to think of a plan. Get me out of this mess, but I can't think of anything. I continue not to pay any attention to my surroundings and bump right into someone. What is with me bumping into everyone? I looked up and see I don't know, but it's a guy. He's got long brown hair and it's wearing an all black outfit. It's a grudgistic thing going on. I personally think it suits him. I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I rubbed the back of my neck, embarrassed.
Yeah, no shit you weren't.
The brown guy had the brown-haired male cursed at me. I totally stopped rubbing the back of my neck and placed a hand on my hip. Hey, it was an accident. No need to be a dick about it. I gasped and covered my mouth. I did not mean to say that. Oh my god. Look, I never swear, so when I did, I get shocked because I hate saying any sort of profanity. I usually only dig myself a grave when I do. My eyes widened as I automatically knew that glare he was giving me meant it's harsh, like I'm going to literally kill you kind of glare. I knew what it meant because of past experience with a specific person. Cough, blueberry head, cough. I should run, should I? The last time I did, I got caught. Anyways, it's neither I run or die, and I don't know about you, but I choose life. I swiftly turned around and began to run as fast as I possibly could, down the hall, taking a sharp left turn from the way I came and continued running down the hallway. I could hear the rapid footsteps behind me. I don't even dare to even look. I continue running until the end of the hall reaches when I take another sharp left and turn the spot into the janitor's closet. I should hide. It's probably my best bet right now because I've got fucking Lightning McQueen in my ass right now. I can't help but swear I'm going to be terrified. Sorry. I swung the janitor's closet open and jumped inside, slamming the door behind me. My breathing is ragged and heavy. I listen closely as I hear the footsteps running past the janitor's closet. Oh, thank God. I probably would have never seen the light of day again if I didn't see this closet. I wait a bit, not only to catch my breath, not to make sure the brunette isn't gone. I focus on my breathing, sit on the floor to take a little rest, placing my backpack beside me. Okay, plan B. Maybe I should run back to the way we came from. And there are some rooms I haven't seen yet. Maybe there's an office down there? I slowly stand up and make my way to the door. I constantly creak it open by a tiny bit, glancing to make sure that guy isn't coming back. I didn't see anyone. I carefully walked out of the closet and tippy-toed around the corner. Quickly, I peeked down to make sure no one was there, and I make my way back down the same hallway I just discreed. I was about to turn the same hallway where I had bumped into that weirdo. He seriously needs a nickname. But stop as I hear two familiar voices speaking just around it. I tried my best to listen closely over my scared breathing, but I couldn't hear anything. Their whispering is too, which doesn't help it at all. Maybe I should peek. What if it's that guy and he sees me? Then I'll surely be dead. He may not, though. Maybe. Screw it. I quietly placed my left hand on the corner of the wall as I looked around it. In the middle of the hall, I see none other than that same brown-haired boy in that outfit. And someone else, but he's blocking them. I tried to lean over farther into the hall to catch a glance and see who he's talking to. My God. Talking to, but failed miserably, falling directly on my hands and knees, causing a loud smack sound. I groaned quietly and quickly moved back behind the corner. Way to go, Whinen. I'm dead for sure. I heard the whispering stop, and I quickly get up, running into the other direction once more. I'm not taking any chances. I hear loud footsteps echoing from down the hallways, as if the echoey footsteps were taunting me in a way. I decided to take the risk and glance behind me, which was a terrible idea. I looked behind me to see Sal, or Blueberry Head. And it was the brunette guy he was talking to, but I didn't see the guy anywhere. Sal continues chasing me down the hallway, but then he starts to slow down until he reaches a complete stop entirely. Why did he stop? Has he given up that easily?
My questions are finally answered when I run into a wall, or a human. I fall to the floor and my backpack falls next to me. I lay there, groaning in pain as I try to get up, but I'm pushed back down to the ground and 2 leather boots are pressed on both of my arms, keeping me held down. I whispered in slight agony and squeezed my eyes shut, hoping that this will all go away and it's just one big nightmare that I'll soon wake up from. But all that hope goes away when I hear another pair of footsteps, and I'm going to guess it's none other than Blueberry Head. I open my eyes and I'm correct. It's Sal. The brunette is holding me down with his feet, very painfully, I might add. Sal crouches down and leans over my face. He looks into my eyes and I look into his. I give an awkward smile and I think I should try get on their good side by making some jokes. Don't do that, Wynan. Don't do that, you idiot. Hey there, Blueberry Head. I breathe in pain, then quickly correct myself. I mean, Sal. He continues to look at me, then looks at the brunette like they were talking twin telepathy-like. Sal turns back to me and brings his thumb to my lips. He pushes it against them, dragging it down and smears my lipstick, just as he did earlier. He chuckles as he knows how much that annoyed me, because I think I begin to glare at him. I swear to God, I'll kill him. Does he know how long that takes? As I say quietly as I scream at him in my head. I decided to speak up because this was getting stranger and stranger. You mind, telling your friend to let me go? I'm afraid I can't do that. Sal speaks up. Finally! Sal looks to his friend and nods. What did that nod mean? What did that mean? Butthead takes his feet off of me and grabs me by my shirt, aggressively lifting me off the ground. Hey, this shirt is expensive. I glare. I seriously need to hold my tongue. The brunette gives me a "Are you serious right now, bro?" look. And I narrow my eyes at him. I'll have you know that this is designer, and if you ruin it, you're paying for it. I think I've lost all common sense right now, but why am I letting the diva speak in me? I'm currently probably about to die. I instantly slap myself. I'm going to get myself killed. Blueberry Head friends seem to find my diva side funny, but I'm dead serious. If he rips this shirt, he's dead. His laugh is kind of cute. No, it's not. Ew. He grabs the back of my shirt as he stops laughing and pulls me up right to his right hip, gripping into the back of my neck and forcing me to the wall with him. He is super tall, just like Blueberry Head, who's on the other side of me, gripping my waist, pushing me towards, as well as just not to be extremely sure I can run off. They turned the corner and threw me into the janitor's closet. Did they know I was hiding here before? The 2 males walk inside after I hit the floor of the closet. Sal looks around the hallway before shutting the door, trapping me inside the closet with him. Brunette dude walks up to me and pushes me against a wall. What is with them pushing us up against walls, bro? What the hell? I quickly squirm and try pushing him off, but he's too heavy. Sal walks over as well and grabs both of my waists, pushing them to the wall above my head. I don't like this. Now get off of me, I scream. I thought Sal was actually an okay guy. I think I actually kind of sort of like him in a way. He looks like the kind of guy I want, and as much as I hate to admit it, so does the brunette. If him and his friend were doing this under different circumstances, I probably would be heck of a flustered mess. Get off, jerks, I yelled. I don't know what to do. I feel so small and weak against them. I can't move. It's like everything's in slow-mo. Sal looks at me with wearied eyes, surprisingly. He looks at his friend and speaks up. Larry, let her go. Larry looks at Sal. Why should we? She called me a dick and bumped into me. We need to teach her what happens when someone does something rude to us. It was an accident, I swear. I tried telling him, but Ow. But he shushes me by placing his index finger on my lips, pressing down hard so I can barely move or speak. My mumbled cries fill the room as I glare at who I now know as Larry. I'm not terrified, but I'm quite scared. I looked at Sal with pleading eyes as I tried to communicate with him, but only to let out mumbles. Larry, let her go. Why do you care so much? We've done this to every other person who has done us wrong, and you have a problem with it now? I look at Sal and wait for his answer. When he doesn't respond, Larry continues. Does she mean something to you? Do you know this, Dumbo? Hey! I shouted through Larry's hand. I'm offended. Larry looks at me, then groans. He rolls his eyes and lets me go. Fine. You can go. Larry looks at me, well, more of a glare, but a less harsh. I smiled a little and looked back at him before I changed my mind. Go before I change my mind. Right, thanks. I say, running in the janitor's closet. Fuck this. I'm going home. So guys, we're gonna end it right here. I'm on spring break, so I'm gonna be able to do a bit of posting. Sorry this is short. Next video will be long. I promise. I have to have a proper intro and shit for this. But I love you guys bunches. Have an amazing day. Mwah. And yeah, that's all I have to say.